In a quiet village surrounded by tall palm trees and dusty footpaths, there lived a man whose life once inspired envy. Everything worked for him. Before he spoke, people listened. Before he asked, doors opened. Before he planned, favor answered. It was as though invisible hands cleared his path before his feet touched the ground. Traders trusted him instinctively, elders nodded with approval when he passed, and even strangers felt safe around him. He was not the strongest man in the village, neither was he the richest, but things aligned for him naturally. When others struggled for years, he succeeded within months. When problems appeared, solutions followed almost immediately. People said his destiny walked ahead of him, announcing his arrival before he came. But one day, everything changed. No accident, no sickness, no warning, just loss after loss. Have you ever tried your best and still failed? Have you ever wondered why others rise while you struggle? That became his reality. His business collapsed overnight. Goods spoiled without reason. Debtors disappeared. Deals he was confident about failed at the final moment. People who once greeted him warmly crossed the road when they saw him coming. At night, he would lie awake, staring at the ceiling, replaying his life over and over. He searched for mistakes, insults, forgotten promises, broken taboos, yet nothing explained the depth of his fall. "What did I do wrong?" he asked the darkness. The darkness never answered. Shame slowly replaced confidence. Hunger visited more often. Respect turned into pity. Still, the greatest pain was confusion. He was alive, healthy, willing to work, but nothing worked. Then came the night that changed everything. That night, sleep came heavily, like a deep river pulling him under, and with it, a dream. In the dream, he stood alone by a wide river. The water was calm, yet it carried deep fear. The air was cold and the silence was loud, pressing against his chest. Suddenly, footsteps echoed behind him. A woman appeared, not young, not old, not human, yet not a spirit. She wore white that shone without light. Her eyes carried ancient knowledge, and as she looked at him, his heart trembled, because somehow she knew everything about him. Before that night, his fall had already taken root. Loss does not always arrive loudly. Sometimes it enters quietly and sits patiently. Each morning he woke with hope, and each night he returned defeated. Money passed through his hands like water. Plans collapsed just before success. Helpers appeared late or vanished entirely. The village noticed. Whispers follow him. Some said he offended unseen forces. Others claimed jealous hands touched his destiny. A few boldly said his glory had been exchanged. He laughed whenever he heard such words, but inside, fear grew like a hidden wound. He remembered moments of pride, times he ignored advice because success came easily. Moments he rushed decisions, believing failure could never touch him. Moments he trusted everyone, because life had never betrayed him before. Soon, hunger became familiar. His house grew quiet. Nights stretched longer. His prayers became desperate, loud, and confused. He prayed for restoration, but heaven stayed silent. Exhausted one night, he lay flat on the bare floor and whispered, "If my glory is gone, show me why." That was the night the river answered. In the dream, the woman stepped closer. Without greeting him, she stretched out her hands. Inside them were 3 items: one big egg, fresh green vegetables, and a white net. They glowed softly, heavy with meaning. Fear held him back. But before he could refuse, she placed them into his hands. "Your glory was stolen, not destroyed," she said. His heart raced. "The egg is your destiny. Whole, powerful, fragile. It was exchanged the day you stopped guarding it." She touched the vegetables. These are daily blessings you ignored while chasing fast greatness. Then the net. This gathers what was scattered, but only clean hands can use it. Her voice hardened. Break the egg and you lose everything. Reject the vegetables again and hunger will return. Use the net wrongly and what you catch will destroy you. Before he could ask a question, the river swallowed her. He screamed and woke up. Morning came, but the dream refused to leave him. He woke up on his mat with his heart beating faster than normal, his body covered in sweat, yet the room felt unusually calm. The rooster crowed outside, announcing a new day, but inside him, the river was still flowing. Every word the woman spoke echoed clearly in his mind, as though she stood beside him, watching his next move. He sat up slowly and placed his hands on his chest. Was it only a dream, or was it a message sent because his situation had become desperate? He tried to shake it off, but the symbols would not fade. The egg, the vegetables, the white net. Each carried a weight he could not ignore. That day, he noticed something different about himself. The anger that usually followed him was gone. The bitterness had softened. Instead, caution replaced desperation. He decided not to rush anywhere. He avoided people who always promised quick solutions. For the first time in a long while, he chose to observe instead of complain. He accepted a small job that same day, work beneath his former status. People laughed quietly when they saw him. Some shook their heads in pity. Others whispered that his glory was truly gone. Their words hurt, but he remembered the egg. Something fragile was in his hands, even if no one else could see it. That night, he slept again, hoping for another dream, but none came. Silence returned, yet it was no longer empty. It felt like waiting. Days turned into weeks, and weeks into quiet lessons. The small job he accepted paid little, but it fed him. More importantly, it taught him patience. He learned to value consistency over excitement. Each morning he rose early, worked honestly, and returned home tired but peaceful. Small favors began to follow him again. Someone shared food with him. Another recommended him quietly. These blessings were not loud, but they were steady, like drops of water filling a broken pot. One evening, while returning home, he saw an old woman struggling to gather vegetables that had fallen into the dust. Others passed without helping. He stopped, knelt down, and helped her pick them up carefully, cleaning each one. The woman looked at him for a long time, as if counting something invisible. "You are carrying something precious," she finally said, "but many people break it without knowing." Before he could reply, she placed a big egg into his hands. It was warm, real. Fear rushed through him. His hands trembled. The dream was no longer a dream. From that day, understanding slowly replaced confusion. He began to reflect deeply on his past. He saw moments where pride made him careless, times when success blinded him, times when he ignored warnings because things always worked out. He realized that glory is not only stolen through witchcraft or enemies. Sometimes it is handed over through impatience, arrogance, and neglect. The exchange did not happen in one day. It happened little by little. He became careful with his words, careful with promises, careful with friendships. He stopped explaining his plans to everyone. He prayed quietly, asking for wisdom, not miracles. Each decision felt like balancing the egg in his hands. Opportunities returned, slowly but surely, not the dramatic kind, but meaningful ones. Someone invited him into a partnership. Another trusted him with responsibility. Trust began to follow him again. He remembered the white net. He gathered his life patiently, refusing greed. He no longer chased everything. He selected carefully. When something felt wrong, he stepped back. What was scattered started returning. confidence, clarity, favor. Piece by piece, his life came together again. As progress returned, temptation followed. Old friends appeared with fast money ideas. Shortcuts opened themselves before him. The same impatience that once ruined him knocked again. This time, he remembered the warning. He refused the shortcuts. He chose discipline. Each refusal strengthened him like muscles exercised through resistance. The egg remained whole. Months passed, and his life stood stronger than before. Not louder, not flashy, but stable. His success now had roots. People noticed. Whispers returned, but this time with respect. His glory has returned, they said. But he knew the truth. It never fully left. It waited for wisdom. He never forgot the river. He never forgot the woman. He never forgot the egg, the vegetables, and the white net. Even in his restored life, he remained cautious. Because now he understood something many never learn. Glory can be stolen quietly. And now, as you listen to this story, one question remains. Will you protect what you carry? Because destiny is not only about what you receive, but how you guard it.
I kindly plead with our first-time viewers to kindly subscribe to our channel. And to our dearest subscribers, thank you for joining us again. Please help to like, drop a comment, and click on the notification bell to always get our new videos. Thank you.